We are back, and this is episode number 7. Episode number 7. Today we have another amazing, incredible, super duper awesome, super crazy in all the right ways. I feel like I say that a lot about people, but you are truly one of the craziest. The man that needs no introduction.
I'm getting the stare already.
No, I said no introduction. That's why I just... No. If you don't know who he is, this is Jason Wish. He is a machine on trail. He is a machine at the farm. He is a machine probably every aspect of his life. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. This is going to be fun.
We did a trip several years ago to North Manitou Island. Mm-hmm. And it was honestly probably still to this day, one of my favorite all-time trips I've ever done. Because you were there. That's the only reason.
It was because Dan Becker was there.
No, because you literally left us and you just were like, I can't hang out with you lazy bums. I am going to hike 27 miles before y'all wake up, which is pretty much what happened.
I don't know about that many miles, but man, that was a good trip. And we actually were just talking about this before we went live on this podcast about what year was.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2019. You think it's 2018.
Yeah, We'll check. We'll see when you uploaded the video, because I'm almost positive it was 2018.
Yeah, but could have been.
Leave it in the comments. Let us know what you think. Number one guess will get a pat on the back. So yeah, that was my first exposure to you as a hiker and as a YouTuber. And I was told by Dan that this guy loves to hike, you don't understand, he will literally leave us all in the dust, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it'll be fine. We're just going on this little island. And I'm pretty sure what happened was Dan was still sleeping and the rest of us were still meandering around. And you're like, I can't stay here. I'm living the farm life. I'm up at 3 a.m. every day, milking chickens and all that fun stuff. So you were gone. And it took us basically it took us to hike 2 miles to the lake, the same amount of time for you to hike the whole island and pretty much meet us at the lake, which was exactly what I expected to happen.
Okay, this story has gotten way out of hand. That's not how any of it happened. We were all together the first day, and then when we hunkered down at camp, I decided to go on a little trail run, and then we got split up from you and Chad. You guys slept in, almost missed the ferry. Yeah, that's it.
No, that was day 3.
Oh, okay.
No, so day 1 we hiked together.
Yeah.
That was just the short hike to camp. Then day 2 was the day that you got up and hiked the island pretty much by yourself.
Okay.
Then day 3 was the day that we overslept and almost missed the ferry.
Either way, it was a great trip.
Yeah,
I have a lot of fond memories of that.
Honestly, it was one of those things where when you get to the west side of the island, you feel like you're in a different world. You feel like you're literally in an island, like in the Caribbean. It's wild. It the water temperature doesn't feel like it.
No, it was kind of cold when we were there. We did jump in to cool off or to wash off.
Yeah, it was.
Have you been
cold.
to South Manitou Island yet? That's on my list. I'd like to see that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as hiker friendly.
I wonder if we could get Dan Becker to come with us. We haven't seen him in years.
Call him out.
Dan Becker, you're invited to South Manitou Island. Will you join me and Chad? Or take 2. Will you join me? Oh,
I am Chad. Oh. I'm like, what do you mean take 2?
Man, who's your friend who went with us? Chandler. I was close. There's a ton of editing that he's done.
No, none of this is getting edited.
Okay.
You're gonna look like a jerk now for not knowing who I am.
No kidding. My goodness.
So yeah, I have a semi trip planned with Adam from Hammock Gear to go to North. Him and I both talked about wanting to go to North Manitou. Maybe we can just make it a whole thing and we'll all go to South Manitou, and we can all use Hammock Gear stuff and talk a bunch of crap on how cold we are and all that good stuff.
That sounds good.
Well, if we go in the summertime, we should be fine. Yeah. We should be fine. So you recently completed a pretty wild task. Well, several wild tasks. How many FKTs do you currently have? Because I feel like it's a stupid amount.
Well, how many do I have? I only have 1 currently. They've all been beaten except my latest one.
But you had how many at one point?
I have competed and held 7 maybe.
Jiminy Christmas.
7 FKTs, and 3 of them were on the same trail. So
I have the fastest known time to the kitchen.
Yeah, I believe that.
Fastest known time up a 10-foot elevation.
A 10,000-foot mountain in your backyard.
So so list off the 7 FKTs that you have completed, and then I'm going to ask you some follow-up questions after that.
Okay. Well, I'll try to remember all of them. It all began in 2019 with my first attempt at the Shelatowee Trace. The Shelatowee Trace is a national recreation trail through Kentucky and Tennessee. It's 343 miles. The first year I did it in 2019, it was only 333 miles. They are extending it a little bit every few years. So yeah, I completed that one. That was my very first FKT. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to train. I didn't know how to stay properly hydrated, taking electrolytes and salts. I didn't know anything about how ultra runners will often wear like calf sleeves for their ankle.
You already lost me at the beginning of all this, so I'm like,
the swelling took place, major swelling. Just a lot of little things I had no clue about.
On average, like how many miles a day are you having to push to?
So for that one, my very first one, I only had to go 36 a day. And
I don't even like driving 36 miles in a day.
Me either. I understand.
Holy smokes!
So yeah, that one seemed feasible. I had never hiked 36 miles yet until I started training for it. But looking back on it now, that's almost laughable in the FKT world. I mean, I had no clue. I was completely green at this, and it was a kind of a soft, what's called low-hanging fruit FKT, and I wanted a long trail to hike on. I wanted to immerse myself on a trail for at least a week, and that was the perfect trail. I thought I could get through there 9 days. That was my goal, and I got the record by like 2 or 4 hours. It was close.
And this was supported or unsupported?
This one was self-supported. So I was able to hang resupply bags. Gotcha. I only did one. That was another mistake. I should have hung multiple bags because you're allowed to. So why not take advantage of it, right? But I hung one bag at the halfway
extra pair of underwear and
so it was just food. The only resupply thing I hung was one bag of food at the halfway point. And then I took a break from the Shelatowee and I did a couple smaller ones, a 21 miler, a 25 miler. In 2020, I did the Susquehannock Trail. That was an 86 mile.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, Susquehannock.
That sounded like something naughty just now.
The Quihana.
Yeah.
There's all these funny sounding trails in Pennsylvania. So that one was 74. But all these trails have since been beaten by other people that actually know what they're doing. So I was definitely an amateur at this.
And all these videos are available on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
What's the name of your YouTube channel? I'm going to put it right on the bottom.
Which is just my name, Jason Wish.
Nice.
Nice and simple. Yep.
Like it.
I originally had a YouTube channel called Roaming Farmer. That was my original channel name. It's still on my channel.
That seems pretty cool.
There's one video on it. My very first video I ever recorded back in 2016. That's all that's on it.
But see, you've been hitting it pretty big on the shorts. It seems like you've got several videos, farming related videos. One of which was super dangerous, by the way. The little explosion y'all did.
Oh yeah.
My goodness, I thought that guy for sure was getting his leg blown off.
Yeah, that was all in the editing. It wasn't really that dangerous.
Okay, it looked like it. So great job on the editing. But you got tons of videos with over millions of views. Yeah,
the shorts. Before I started doing those, I might have been around 10,000 subscribers, somewhere around there. And then I had a short go viral to 17 million.
And that was the Combine one?
No, that was just a regular video. That short did get a couple million.
I was going to say, that one seemed like it was pretty out there too.
Yeah, the pumpkin, how to not pick a pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
Do not pick a pumpkin this way. Yeah. I started it off with cocking a shotgun, blowing off the stem of a pumpkin.
That one.
So that one just took off, and I probably got 15,000 subscribers just from that one video.
Nice. I'm going to link that right up here somewhere
up there. So yeah, I had a couple of crazy shorts like that weren't even backpacking related. So,
and how much effort? Because one of the things I've heard a lot is that some of the most viral videos are the ones that people put the least amount of effort into, and the ones that you spend like 20 hours editing, you get like a few hundred views. And you're like, well, that was dumb.
Exactly. That one took 15 minutes or something like that. I carried my hacksaw, a chainsaw, and my gun down to the pumpkin patch.
Yep.
Then came back and edited it in 15 minutes and put it up.
Bull crap. You don't even want to know the amount of time I put in the videos. And I still only have 3 followers. So anyways, back to the FKTs, because that's way more important than what we're talking about.
So where were we?
The last one you said was the 86 mile.
Yeah, the Susquehannock.
Susquehanna.
And the Quihana.
I'm going to try anymore.
Yeah. So, and then in 2021, I came back to do the Shelatowee Trace again. And it was at 343 miles at this time. And I thought, I'm going to be the first person to go unsupported. So no one had ever done this trail unsupported before.
So just real quick, explain to everyone the difference between a supported FKT and an unsupported FKT.
Sure, I should have done that right off the bat.
That's my job. I'm the host.
Okay.
I keep you in line. Don't you worry about it.
The unsupported style is the most difficult because you have to carry everything in your pack that you start with, and you're not even allowed to throw out trash. You can't have any outside support. You can't even see friends or family trailheads. Yeah, you're going to run into people along the trail, but you can't take anything from them. You're allowed to use natural water sources.
And is there somebody like monitoring this?
The FKT website. So you. But
I'm saying, like, who's watching you on the trail to make sure you're keeping?
Yeah, no one. It's kind of on the honor.
Don't be cheating out there. No,
that's right.
Because he did it for real.
And it would be super easy to cheat. Right. But I mean, you still have to turn in your track. You know, I use my cordless watch to get a track.
Did you turn in all your garbage too?
I probably should have.
I feel like you should, because that's how you get. Somebody could just go bury it. I mean, you're talking like what, 4 grams of garbage?
Probably.
That makes a difference.
It's a huge difference. It cost me a couple miles. So yeah, I that was one of the most worst experiences of my life, because not only is it, I started out with a 40-pound pack. I probably could have got it down to 32, 33 if I would have known I wasn't going to eat so much food. But I was starving in my first FKT when I went self-supported in 2019. Now, let me finish talking about the different styles. The self-supported, you're allowed to support yourself with a bag drop. Right. You can go to a motel. You can go buy a candy bar, gas station, whatever. You know, anything that everybody else has access to. I couldn't go stay in Chad's backyard if he lived along the Shelatowee Trace, because you're my friend. You might not let the next guy going on his FKT allowed to stay in your yard. That's not available to everybody. So it has to be. Like
I sure don't want some weirdo in my backyard.
Exactly. So that one was brutal, carrying all that extra weight. I had to train differently. You know, I started realizing that I needed salts and electrolytes, and I needed to train better. Right. You know, carrying all that weight on my back, and did extra weight training for my shoulders and traps, just to be able to handle carrying all that load for the entire seven days. That one took 7 days, 16 hours. So I was not only wanted to be the first one to get it unsupported, I wanted to beat the supported record. The supported is always the fastest because it's more like an ultra race. You can have a crew, you can have all the support you want. Right. You can meet up with somebody every mile if you want. You can have pacers. I mean, there's no holds barred on the supported. So that's why those are always the fastest, because you have support and you're lightweight.
Somebody could be spraying water in your face while you're running.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would have helped.
I'll do it next time for you.
There ain't going to be a next time.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into that in a little bit.
All right.
So I was on pace to get the overall. The overall was a little bit soft. It was 7 days, 11 hours, set back in 2017 by John Harden. And I was on pace to get it, but I started having some stomach issues. I was getting queasy stomach, throwing up, and some major foot pain. My feet just were not able to handle 53 miles a day.
And didn't your feet get like absolutely destroyed during this?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember seeing some footage of.
It was the self-supported in 2019 where I had the big gooey blister.
Okay.
I don't know how I walked on that thing.
Yeah.
But it was just a foot muscle pain in the second one. And it's hard to train for something like that. I mean, it's not like most people don't have time to go out and train 30, 40, 50 miles carrying a full load several times a week or something. And, when you hit a pavement on a 340-mile trail carrying that load, it's hard to replicate that in training. Yeah. And my feet took the brunt of that, and they were hurting. I was taking ibuprofen like you would
all day, popping them like Skittles.
Just about. And I was getting worried. It was to the point where I thought maybe causing damage.
What made you want to do this in the first place? Like, what was the inspiration behind wanting to go destroy yourself for 7.5 days?
Well, there might be a little bit of me that's somewhat of a masochist when it comes to certain things. Mm-hmm. Like, I am very competitive in everything that I do.
Couldn't tell. We're going to play ping pong after this battle.
Oh, yeah, you better be ready. I was the high school ping pong champion.
Okay.
No, second place.
Forget it. Because I'm pretty sure I'm undefeated in the shop, and I'm not ruining that by some guy.
I haven't played in 10 years. You feel better?
No. Okay. Not if you were a champion. That's like riding a bike. You just don't.
You don't know how big my high school was. Maybe it was like 5 people.
That's fair. And if I was there, maybe I'd have been the champion. Although I'd have been like 1 probably. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Oh, boy. So
I'm such a turd.
I got off the pace the last couple of days, and I missed it by 4 hours. And it doesn't matter because I still had set the first only unsupported
Right.
record. So I was in the books on the FKT website. And then it was at that time, after recovering, after I'd said 5 or 6 times, "I'll never doing this again, forget it, no way, no how," you start forgetting that a little bit.
Enough time goes by, the pain goes away.
And I've said this on numerous other podcasts and interviews and write-ups and things I've done. The only thing I can compare it to is how a woman says, "I'm never going to have another baby after giving birth."
Yeah.
Yet they forget about that.
I'm pretty sure Brittany said that at least 3 times.
And you have 4 kids.
Yep.
So, but like I said,
but you already said on this podcast that you're not doing anymore.
I'm not. And there's a different reason now.
All right. We'll get to
several different reasons. So after about a year, I started getting into some ultra racing and realizing, man, this is so much easier and faster. Having aid stations, not carrying a backpack.
Right.
I was starting to get back into running again. My junior year of high school, I said I'm never going to run again. I quit cross country, and I didn't run my senior year, even though I trained all year.
Right.
I'd had it. I thought I'd never run again. That's why backpacking appealed to me. I could still get outside and enjoy my time in the woods.
Big miles.
I like hiking big miles, hiking fast, and see how much I can see in a day.
Sure.
So I got into ultra racing a little bit, and I thought, what if I'm the first person to not only hike the trail 3 times, hold an FKT in all 3 categories on this long trail? Other trails get a lot more love than the Shelatowee Trace. The Shelatowee Trace is building in popularity, but it's not as popular as like the Pinhoti, the Benton McKay. Those are other trails around 300 miles. They're a lot more popular, closer to the Appalachian Trails part of it. But it's only a matter of time before a great ultra runner, a mediocre ultra runner with a great crew and great weather, comes out and smokes my time. Yeah. I know that's going to happen.
It'll be me.
You got to start. I can help you train for this.
0% chance.
Even though you've had how many hip surgeries? I know you can.
Too many, and several more to come. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then back after that, and it's fine. Okay. I'll be fine. Tom will push me around.
Fastest no wheelchair time.
That's right. Supported.
New category.
I'm not pushing it.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Mine'll be a turbo. We were talking earlier about they're just throwing turbos in everything nowadays. Yeah. Like, oh, look at this 1-cylinder, whatever. Throw a turbo in it. It'll be my wheelchair. So the most recent one I saw, how long ago was the last FKT that you completed?
October 21st.
Of October 2020.
This past October.
Because I just watched video 7.
Okay.
In preparation of getting up to speed on all of your fantastic accomplishments.
If you want to see me torture myself and see an amazing crew help take care of me for 6 days
and watch them collapse on a bridge.
Yeah. I kissed the bridge too.
Yeah. But then you just stayed there.
Oh gosh, that was a glorious moment. I mean,
it seemed like
that's part of the reason I do this. It's coming into the finish line on an ultra race when you're freaking feeling miserable and wanting to die and wanting to quit 10 miles earlier. Or reaching that finish line on FKT and knowing you accomplished your goal. I think that's what drives me to do it. This is feelings.
Yeah.
They're feelings and memories that no one can ever take from you.
Yeah. Well, and you find out who you really are, in those moments, and it allows you to uncover sides of you that you never even knew existed.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
I think you're right. Yeah. You find out what you're made of, that's for sure. And, I always consider myself to have a fair amount of grit, determination, and drive. And that's probably what helped drive me through to finish, because believe me, I wanted to quit 100 times.
Yeah.
But just knowing that I put all this time and effort and money and coordinating the crew to come and help, I can't let them down. I can't let myself down. This is going to be my final shot. I wasn't going to come back and do this again because I'd already failed the year prior. I went back to try to do this supported one in 2022, and I failed at mile 111. I was 1/3 of the way through.
Failed in what way?
I pulled the plug. We had inclement weather come in. We had 2 inches of rain dump on us. I was running in 3 inches of rain on the trail, and I started getting a spot on my foot, like a blister forming deep up inside. It was giving me some foot pain, and I was like, I don't know if I can run on this for another 200 miles. I don't know if I should put my crew at risk on these deep river crossings coming up after this 3 miles of rain. I don't have it in me. It's best to pull the plug and live to fight another day.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because it all worked out.
Definitely. Yeah, that definitely does not sound like I would have wanted to be a part of that crew.
I think they really enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a 3-person crew, and one of them, this was his 3rd time on the trail. So it was a great experience having him out there kind of leading the way. I could just kind of zone out and follow him. I didn't have to like worry about blazes or pull my phone out and look at Gaia or whatever far out and make sure I'm not off the trail.
Right.
Because there's definitely easy to do in the night.
Yeah. So I will be plugging lots of your videos up on the top here. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild to watch what you do. I had Chris on last week, and he's a guy that just like wants to be on trail all the time. Mm-hmm. You're a guy that wants to be on the trail all the time, but wants to sprint it as fast as you can. And
not all the time.
Okay.
I've had some nice leisurely, lazy.
I want to go on a trip with you where it's leisurely. I want to see you in a leisure format. Let's go float down a lazy river together.
There you go. That sounds fun. That's how I unwind. So I do my fast work on.
You call me when you're ready to unwind.
Okay. I did do the Cranberry Wilderness on the Monongahela. I think that's how you say it. National Forest in West Virginia.
We should have. We're going to need a teleprompter next time because
Susquehannock, Monongahela, Cohiana.
Mm-hmm.
Get some crazy.
I'll just shake my head and nod like, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I did 25 miles in 2.5 days. What do you think about that?
That's a lot.
Not really.
For me, it is.
I did still feel like I was hoofing it out there though, because I was still recovering.
I think my biggest. Should I say this out loud? I think my biggest day ever hiking. I'm gonna say 15 miles, but it was in like a foot of snow.
Ooh.
So it was brutal. It was on the Ice Age Trail.
Okay.
The problem is that I have obviously all my hip and back problems, but I also have an autoimmune disease that causes my joints to like feel like they're literally on fire and crazy issues. When Devin was here a few weeks ago, we went into a hang and we did this short, like 4.5 mile hike. And there was like a couple steep hills that I was like being all macho, like, oh, watch me run up these hills. I don't know if it was a combination of the weather or what, but after that trip, we had to actually cut it early. I laid in bed for like 2 days feeling violently sick. I feel like this is skipping. Feeling violently sick, but my whole body hurt so bad that it was unreal. And it was literally 4.5 miles.
Oh,
I mean, just could not move, could not eat. I mean, it messed me up bad.
I can't even imagine what that would be like, except for maybe the way I felt when I laid on that bridge at mile 343.
Yeah, but that makes sense after doing what you did.
Because I had burning joints,
7 days,
and ankles.
I should not have been feeling that after 4 miles.
Yeah,
so
it's too bad.
Yeah, I'm on the road to recovery still because my last hip reconstruction was in August. So I probably, in hindsight, shouldn't have done that without training a little bit more and getting my body a little bit in better shape. But I've kind of just settled into the place of I'm now known in the backpacking world as a guy that doesn't hike. I'm just like,
well, you can be.
I'm there for the party.
You're supportive of all those hikers and backpackers. With the gear you make.
Exactly. I'm the support system. I'll take it. So we need to do a trip together soon. You told me, which I was surprised at the other day on the phone, that you don't have a proper underquilt.
That's true.
We need to fix that.
And people who follow me, I guess people who watch you, let's say people on my channel won't know about this podcast unless I plug it on my channel, I'm guessing. What I'm getting at is everybody who follows me on my channel knows I don't have a proper underquilt. People who follow me in backpacking anyway. I've been using this cheap Costco underquilt since 2017. 2016, whenever I bought that thing.
I don't understand how that's even possible because I feel like we had several talks over the years about getting you an underquilt.
Yeah.
And we still, neither of us remember why that didn't happen.
Well, you hooked me up with a pretty awesome top quilt after North Manitou Island.
Okay. That sounds like me.
And then we talked. That might have been the little hiatus you had from UGQ there for a couple of years.
Could have been.
But yeah, we talked about getting an underquilt. And
yeah, we'll fix that.
Yeah. I'll
give it to you for 10% off.
Perfect.
If you come on this podcast, you have to have at least 50,000 subscribers. You will get a free quilt of some sort.
He just excluded me. I am going to have to pay for this quilt then because I only got 46,000.
Yeah, but I had already told you before. I'm saying now, moving forward.
Okay.
No, like you have to hit the minimum. You are different.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Maybe I'll give you
Man
a
of your
50%
word.
discount.
Okay. Do I still have to pay for the upgraded 900 power?
900. We got 950.
950. Oh, that's what it is. 950. I had to pay 30 extra bucks to get 950 instead of 850.
Yeah, well,
That was well spent though. It was worth it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's get you taken care of where that's concerned. Let's get a trip on the books. And maybe there will be some content after this podcast that we're also going to post. Maybe a little trip, maybe a little overnighter. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
See where the day takes us. So you had mentioned earlier that you are no longer doing FKTs. Do indulge me.
No longer doing FKTs ever again on the Shelatowee Trace.
Okay.
I've retired from the Shelatowee Trace FKT scene.
Gotcha. Now it's going to be the AT, the PCT, and the...
No. We talked about the 3 categories that I've got the FKT in already. And I felt like I had unfinished business each time I finished because I always had something so bad take place that I didn't get the time I wanted. So I never felt satisfied and I wanted to keep going back. And each time I went back, I tried a different style. A different style of attempt. And now that I've gotten it in all 3, I don't currently hold it in all 3. Each one of those first 2 got beaten barely, but I still have it in that supported style. So just now I call it the trifecta or the trilogy of FKTs on the Shelatowee Trace. I feel fulfilled on that trail now.
The triple K-er.
Yeah.
The triple
F, I don't know what you call that.
We'll come up with something.
Okay. Yeah. So, but I still have a couple shorter ones that I'm interested in. I failed at the 100 miler, the North Country Trail section of the Allegheny Trail in Pennsylvania. The North Country Trail is 4,600 miles. It goes from like New York to the Dakotas.
Right.
But 100 miles of it is in Allegheny National Forest, and they hold a challenge there every year called the A100. I failed at it in June, but that was kind of they called in supported, but you're running with other people, and they have one aid station, so it's really supported. And I failed at like mile 76, and I came back by myself that fall, which was just last fall, and failed again at mile 83, and it's just eating away at me that I haven't gotten.
What caused the failure? Like, what was the
first time is because they start that A100 challenge at night at 6 p.m. So you've already been up all day. I'd already worked several hours on the farm before I drove to Pennsylvania straight through, walked out my truck onto the trail and went. And
seems like a good time to start.
Oh, it was terrible. But this next time I started, an hour before daylight. It was perfect. I was doing great. I was on pace to, get the record that I wanted in my mind, which is to break 30 hours.
Right.
Because there is a guy that did the A100 challenge.
30 hours.
30 hours.
For 100 miles. That's
not fast in the ultra community, though. Fast would be like 19, 24.
Just grow up. God.
So someone had already done it in like 33 hours on the A100 challenge. And I was like, if I can't beat 33 hours, I'm just not even going to do it. And I got sick at mile 50 and just would never recover. And I went to mile 83 and I called my wife from the campground near the finish and told her to come.
There was a video on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember seeing that now that you're saying that.
So unfinished business there. I know I'm capable of doing it, but here's the problem. Do I still have, I was just talking with Tom about this a little bit ago. Do I have the drive? Do I have the ambition, the gumption that's needed to put in the training to be able to do this? Because right now I'm out of shape. I've lost a lot of fitness and I took a lot of time off. I've been inconsistent since October 21st.
How is it going to compare to the Shelatowee Trace, like in terms of like training and like how many miles do you have to hit a day?
I would probably want to run. I would feel comfortable if I just did 30, 40 miles a week. Run 5 days a week, probably. That's four easy runs, maybe or shorter runs, 1 speed workout, 1 long distance day of like 12 to 16 miles. But that takes a lot of time. It might. Ultra runners that are listening to this are laughing at me right now, thinking, "What a weenie!"
I can guarantee you there are no ultra runners listening to this podcast right now because it's me. Leave a comment. Is what he talking about crazy? Because I feel like I'm going crazy here listening to him talk about how it's just a couple short 10, 20 mile runs here and there, no big deal. That's if you're running 10 or 20 miles, please leave a comment below because I'm super curious to know how many of you are out there that are actually doing that. Because I hear about people like waking up and going for runs and this and that, but it's like usually like 2-3 miles. And I'm like, yeah, you killed it. Like, that's great. And you're like, no, I'm going to go work the farm for 12 hours and I'm going to go run 20 hours. And then I'm going to, you're out of control.
I'm not running hard at all right now. So for the last 3 months, I've only been running like once or twice a week.
How quickly do you get out of shape after?
Fast. I figured it out I've always wondered that. Always had that question in the back of my mind. I've actually reached out to people. Should I take 6 weeks off? What if I take 8 weeks off?
Mhm.
That's what I want to do because my body needs it. But am I going to lose my fitness, like my cardio, my lungs and heart,
Right.
build up for running long distances? And I finally figured it out. It's 4 months. 4 months, you lose it all. I feel like
Wow.
I've lost my base.
Usually, is there other things you can do, like training wise, like swimming or like hold your breath underwater for?
I don't know about holding your breath, but I mean, bike riding, swimming, for sure. Yeah. Even I always thought fast walking would do it, but I've been doing some hiking still. I've still working on the farm. Yeah, it's the physical farm works in the summer, the really hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been kind of a lazy bum in my mind over the last 4 months.
I guarantee you that's not the case.
But anyway,
lazy by your standards, but still a machine by everybody else's. So
I guess what I'm getting at here ultimately is that I could not go out and run 100 miles right now. I could walk it in 2 days, but that's not going to break 30 hours. So I turned 50 in December. So I'm 50 years old now. I don't know if I have it in me. I feel
you're barely halfway through your life. Come on.
I know. But I feel like in my heart and in my mind, I still want these things. I have that internal drive. What's the right word? The need to go out and try to compete still, but I don't know if I want to put myself through that again. I don't know if I have that still.
How is your wife with all this? How does when she sees you beat yourself to death out there, how does she feel?
She thinks I'm crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. She's just like
as long as we're all on the same page. So what was has there ever been a time where she wanted you to stop? Like, you're like, let's say you're in the middle of an FKT and she's like, Jason, just be done. Just stop. Like what was that like for you mentally? Like what was the battle like of you trying to like overcome, obviously it's your wife who's asking you to like be done. And you're like, I can't, how was that dynamic?
Because you're so invested. I might be at mile 200.
Right.
I'm like, I'm so close to the end. But here I am popping 3 Advils every 3 hours.
Yeah.
And she's like all worried.
Right.
After the first 2, she's like, don't you even call me. Don't text me or call
me. I don't want
to even hear about what you're going through until it's over.
Right.
Because she worries about that I'm damaging my kidneys or my stomach or liver, whatever. That filters all that stuff out. And I was trying to be careful. I tried to stay. I talked to some doctors and nurses even during the attempt. It's like, hey, what is the max I can push this and not kill myself or injure myself? Not kill myself, injure myself. That's going to be a long-term effect, damage.
I'm fine with short-term injury. Like if I poop blood for the next month, it's fine as long as it doesn't kill me.
So yeah, she was just worried about that mainly.
Yeah. And
during the training, there was a lot of sacrifices made on this last one because, like you said, I'm working a 12-hour day on the farm. Maybe I might have some days that are only 8 or 10, but I mean,
but it's hard work.
Yeah, it's hot, sweaty work, and like you've said in other podcasts, farmers wear many hats as any business owner does. I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
Everything. Anything under the sun. I mean, we're talking carpentry, electrician, mason, grower, chemical guy, agronomist.
Well, plus dealing with staff, right?
Yeah, HR. I mean, you're doing it all as a business owner.
Sounds like way more than what I have to do.
Oh, gosh. And I'm getting to the point in my life where the farming it used to be my passion before I learned about fast packing.
Yeah.
And kayaking, all these fun things I do now. It was farming. I mean, I poured my life, heart and soul into farming, building my business from the ground up, kind of like you're doing right now. And I got it where I want it. I've had it where I want it the last couple of years. So I was looking for new endeavors, new challenges. And that's kind of where the fast packing thing came in, the FKTs. But
and you have how many kids do you have?
We have 3 kids.
3 kids.
And they're pretty much grown now.
And are any of them interested in either taking over the farm or kind of following your footsteps in terms of like hiking, backpacking, outdoor adventures?
Yeah, that was always my hope that one of them would take over the farm. They're 18, 20, and 22 right now. And the oldest one is in the backpacking. He just went on an overnight in Southern Ohio last night, and he used the UGQ top quilt.
Nice.
You made me.
The UG what?
UGQ.
Trust me, everybody has a hard time saying it. It's usually UGO
say that fast 10 times.
UGQ? Oh, I can say it 1,000 times fast. Gosh, I say it every day about 1,000 times a day, so I probably can't say it 3 times fast.
But my middle son, who's just about 21, he has no interest in it, but he helps me.
Yeah.
He'll go out because he's still living at home, but he's
Mhm.
in the process of moving out because he is a full-time YouTuber.
Oh, really?
He is on the cusp of hitting 200,000 subs right now, and he's probably gonna make more money than I do farming. So he needs
What's the name of his channel?
Blocketh. His name's Blake, and his friends used to call him Block.
Nice.
So he named his channel Blocketh. Blocketh Outdoors. Used to be Wish Life Outdoors, rebranded to Blocketh Outdoors. He's all over all the platforms: TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff.
It's up here in case you want to see it.
Man, his channel has exploded.
That's awesome.
I called Dan Becker every now and then to ask him for advice when his channel was blowing up.
Right.
I think he's beyond Dan now in views. I mean, it's just incredible.
Wow.
How fast his channel's blowing up. So he doesn't.
So
he want to farm. He's going to be.
That's who I should have brought on the podcast. Is what you're saying?
Probably.
Should have brought him with you.
He's all about air guns.
Okay.
Hunting, trapping, fishing, and mainly
Nice.
air rifles. That's where his channel's kind of.
That's cool.
Went now. Then my daughter is going to be 19 next month. She is a senior in high school. She has a passion for the farm, but I just don't know how that would work. I don't have the plan laid out yet. I don't want to see my baby die, that I built for 25 years.
Yeah, well, you've got quite the operation going on there. So,
I mean, fortunately, we still have the grain operation, which is kind of a separate entity. My mom and dad still run that.
Gotcha.
And my younger brother, but I help when I can. But the produce operation's my baby.
Mhm.
And yeah, I hope someone can kind of fill my shoes here soon because I'm ready to slow down and step away from the day to day.
Yeah.
And
well, talking with a lot of business owners, I think that's one of the hardest things to do is start relinquishing some control and like really like delegating more and kind of, because you've been doing it yourself for so long that it's hard to like envision somebody else doing it. Because
I want that though.
You want it.
I don't know how I can't get it figured out. I need the right person.
Yeah.
I feel like as of right now, I don't see my kids doing that.
Maybe
they will.
You usually have like a lot of like summer help and
a lot of seasonal help, a handful of adults.
You ever had anybody that's come through that you're like, man, I wish this guy would stick around?
I have had a couple like that over the years, but
call them,
and maybe one of them will come back someday.
Make them the right offer.
Yeah, that's possible. And I never did finish talking about my oldest son who backpacked with the UGQ quilt. He's
I'm known for cutting people off, so just
that's fine. I've learned to deal with it. He is in nursing. He's a senior in nursing, so he'll probably go out and do the nursing thing. But since he loves backpacking like I do, I can see him maybe being a travel nurse or something.
Sure.
But he has a passion for the farm too. But he's not I can see him being more in the lab or the hospital or something. I don't see, I can't see him being out there working in the farm like I am, day in and day out. But you never know.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are all too young to tell, but we've always told our kids like we want them to do whatever is going to make them happy, and honestly, I have a long time before I have to worry about that. So
it comes quick though.
Goodness. No, I know it does. Time has already seemed to ramp up substantially in the last few years. Pandemic obviously changed a lot too. Like, just the world doesn't seem to work the same anymore.
Yeah.
People are like just so distracted in general that everything seems to just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you know what helps with that?
No. Yes.
Do you know what I do to help with that? Kayak camping.
Yeah.
And I know I keep bringing up Dan Becker's because that's how I met you, through Dan Becker.
Right.
So Dan and I have been talking about doing a kayak camping trip. He's never went kayak camping. And we're talking probably no cameras here. We're just to go out and have some fun.
Those need to happen.
And I think that we need to get you in a kayak sometime.
Oh, I'm 100% down.
Okay.
These arms are working just fine.
Yeah.
It's just the legs that suck.
Colonel doesn't like hiking. My buddy, the Colonel.
Yeah.
He always talks about how kayaking is like hiking with your arms.
Yeah.
So we'll take you hiking with our arms, maybe on one of the Manitou Islands.
Yeah,
they take kayaks out there.
I think. Yeah. Well, I think mostly pack rafts because I don't know.
Okay.
It's like from the dock. I think it's like 2.5 miles into.
I thought it was like 12.
The lake. No, it's only
to the Manitou Island.
No, you're saying to paddle to the island.
Yeah. Actually, I know I wouldn't want to paddle at the island. It's too far. I mean, don't people load
That's
their
not
rafts?
because so if you saw the first podcast I did was with Mike. He's our video guy.
Mm-hmm.
He paddled to South Manitou Island.
Okay.
And some sea kayaks.
That'd be fun.
And I think it took them like
just a couple hours.
I think it was like 3 hours maybe.
So it's 7 miles.
But they hit some big swells, and he got really nervous that they were gonna lose it.
You want to be on a calm day or have the proper.
It started out calm, but once they got out there, winds picked up, and
wow.
I'll just tie a rope to you and drag me along. That's what I do with Brittany when we go kayaking. Yeah. She's like, tie me up
and I just drag everybody along.
It's all right.
Right, sweetie? No, let's do it. Yeah, if you could set it up, I'm down. So,
It's just hard for me to have flexibility during the summer. Like, I almost can't believe I made it on that North Manitou trip, but I'm sure glad I did.
Yeah.
But, sometimes in June, we're in the third week of June, we got things finally moving, like a well oil machine on the farm. Everybody's hired. Everybody knows what they're doing. But the busy sweet corn time, which is mid-July on, has not started yet. So I always got a little time there where I can slip away to do something for a couple of days.
Set it up.
Okay. We'll work on that.
Brittany, I need a kayak, by the way. I'll have to go pick one up this afternoon. So let's I did have one other question. I'm trying to remember what it was because I thought of it when we were talking about your kids.
Is this when I get to stare?
You can stare at me if you want. I'll just ignore it. It's fine. There was a question. I don't remember what it was.
Well, while you're thinking about it, I will mention that also in June, when I usually can get away, that's when we have our wedding anniversary.
Oh, nice.
So we celebrated 25 last year.
Same.
26.
Not 25 years, but our anniversary is in June.
Okay. Yeah, June 20th. So
ours is the 11th.
As long as we don't plan a trip on the 20th.
It's on my finger. Had to put it there just in case.
You tattooed your anniversary date on your finger.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I have never thought about that.
Wasn't it your idea? Wasn't it your idea? Or was my idea?
I don't need to do that.
Oh, yeah, it was my idea.
I don't have that problem.
No, I have that problem.
I'm great with dates, but I do like that.
I may have forgotten an anniversary or two in there.
I did get a tattoo, my first tattoo.
I saw that.
There it is right there.
Yeah. I'll put it up on screen. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a good hurt.
I think I've got
short-lived hurt.
13 or 14 tattoos.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
My wife was against this bad.
Oh, I believe
she hates it. I forget I have it because I don't look down at my ankle or outside my leg.
See, I have one across my back that I literally almost always forget is there. It was one that I got when I was like 17 and I drew it myself and my drug dealer put it on for me. True story. And it was horrible. It was atrociously put on. My whole back was literally bleeding like violently while he was putting it on. And
that's great. That's a great story.
But I'm like, I forget it's there, and Brittany has to see it, and she's like, this thing is horrendous. And I'm like, well, I'll get it covered up someday, but I don't want to get this huge tattoo across my back. Maybe I'll just get the big UGQ logo.
There you go. Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
What do you think about that? Branding. I actually am going to get a UGQ tattoo at some point.
Yeah, I think you need to.
Even I always told her, like, even if I'm not always involved with UGQ, sell it off, maybe somewhere down the road. It's always a piece of my story. You know what I mean? It's always going to be a piece of my life. So I was thinking about getting one like in the form of a teardrop, like the UGQ logo right here. Then a hammock gear one over here.
There you go.
It'd be perfect. Show how many companies I destroyed. My own and theirs. Because, teardrops, like how many people you killed or something. I don't know. I'm not that gangster. I'm off the walls over here.
I don't even know what to say.
I'm still trying to think of my question. Real quick though, I have always been curious about this. What is a normal day in the life for you between the farm and family, and like how do you accomplish getting all of this in one day? Because it seems like you are probably one of the busiest people I know. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Man, that's a loaded question. Holy moly.
Perfect, because we need to fill content. Yeah. So take it away.
I guess right now, I'm still a little bit in my off season. We have 5 greenhouses, so 14,000 square feet of greenhouse space, and we each, every other week we're starting up another one. We've got 3 up and running right now. We still got 2 left. So as soon as I get done with this and we do whatever we're going to do, I'll be heading home and getting greenhouse number 4 ready next week. And those are for hydroponic tomatoes.
And what's the process of getting one ready?
We pull all the plants out the previous fall after we terminate them. But
do you pull all the plastic and stuff off too?
Every 5, 6, 7 years.
Okay. Because I saw a video where you were putting new plastic on, and it seemed like a chore.
That's one of the things I hate.
Yeah.
I really can't stand greenhouse farming anymore. It's almost like dairy farming. I mean, it's just there 24/7. It never goes away. I mean, I guess with cows, you're always busy. I grew up milking cows for the first 28 years of my life. Anyway, I digress. The greenhouses, there is some downtime.
Mhm.
So November, December, they're completely cleaned out, but they don't always get cleaned out in the fall properly. So I go back in there and sweep them up, make sure all the junk's out, make sure all the water lines are hooked back up because you blow air through them so that nothing freezes.
Right.
Fill the boiler up, the water heater up, all the little drip emitters that feed the solution, the recipe to the plants because they're hydroponic.
You make me feel like a worthless, lazy bum
Really?
with
I can't
all of your
imagine
talking.
everything that's going on here. You got a lot going on too, man.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah.
It's all full day. 24/7 with the farm, even in the off season though. Like there's always stuff to do.
I don't know. I was thinking about this while I was driving up here. Sometimes I almost already feel partially retired because I take so much downtime in the winter. When I shut the farm down in November, there might be a little tillage, getting a tractor and plow some fields or something like that. But for the most part, I'm done. That's when I completely take a deep breath, go to Florida, whatever, RV camp with my wife or in the country somewhere for a couple of weeks.
Go sprint 100 miles.
Yeah, that too. Keeps me sane.
It makes total sense.
In December, it's like that too. But December is a little different. As a business owner, you got tax season coming up. Where I'm already starting to think about social media stuff, working on my website, getting ready to hire people. But it's still a lot of downtime. There's no physical work. That's when I like to really concentrate on YouTube and stuff like that, since I got 2 channels I'm trying to run. January, I'm still taking some trips and enjoying life, but that's when things start getting more serious. I'm actually starting some seeds. So I have grow lights on down in my basement. I have heating mats germinating the seeds. So you got to be there all the time. I can't just leave. Someone's got to be there to watch them and baby them. And then we move them out in a greenhouse, and that's when we start heating the greenhouses and watering them, and that's where they stay the rest of their life until we terminate them at the end of the fall. So it's really not a lot of work right now. I feel like half of my life is spent at my desk, doing planning, planting schedules and things like that, and things, paying farmers market fees because I sign up for 8 farmers markets around Central Ohio, around Columbus. So it's not like you just load up a truck and drive to Columbus.
Have you ever filmed like a video that kind of like shows all of like a day in the life of what you have to do? And like,
that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm filming 2 videos a week for the farm, the Wishwell Farms Produce channel. And I'm showing just the daily life of all the greenhouse work right now. And I've showed a little bit of stuff at my desk, working with my, working on my chemical order, my seed planting schedules and stuff. You don't just go out there and throw seeds in the field and hope they're going to be ready to harvest at the right time. You're planting multiple times so you don't ever run out of a crop, like corn and green beans. You have to plant those 12, 15 times. And so back to what I do on a daily schedule in the summer, I'll wake up during the week, probably not till 6. I don't have to get up real early. Sometimes I'll unload a produce truck of stuff I don't grow, like peaches, onions, potatoes, tree fruit that I don't grow, apples, things like that. Get them all in the cooler. Saturday's the big day. I'll get up at 4 a.m. I'll have 5 box trucks and 2 trailers lined up, and I'll spend a couple hours loading all those with the crops, and then all the employees will start coming in at 7 o'clock, between 6 and 7, and start driving off to their 8 farmers markets that we do on Saturdays. 6 or 7 on Saturdays. There's a couple during the week too.
Yeah, I've seen one of those videos where you guys come in and load up all the trucks.
Yeah, they'll go do their thing until noon at the farmers markets. Hopefully bring home empty trucks for the most part, and then unload those, and then we shut the farm down in the middle of the afternoon and call it quits. And then it starts back up on Monday with harvesting all week, getting ready for all these farmers markets.
Are those weekends pretty lucrative?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. 2/3 of our income is from Saturday alone.
Wow.
So I almost to the point now where I really don't even need to do anything during the week except our one retail. We have a mobile retail stand we take to a busy intersection halfway between our house and Columbus, and it does really, really well. So that's something I would never give up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing, and I'm planning on vlogging 1 to 2 videos a week all summer long, showing everything we do, because I want to get that farm channel to take off.
What inspired you to even start YouTube in the first place? Like, why? What inspired you to start, and what is your motivation to keep doing it?
Right. 2016, I did my very first solo backpacking trip around a loop in Southern Ohio, and I had been watching Syntax 77 on YouTube and Frozen Outdoor Adventures, Jason, and I just thought that was pretty cool what they were doing. And I've always grew up having a video camera, one of those great big ones you hold on your shoulder. Back in middle school, I'm like 14 years old, doing little farm tours and showing the cows, chickens, and pigs, and jumping on the trampoline with the neighborhood kids, just all kinds of stupid stuff. And then downsized to the smaller cassette video recorder and I'd film all our family vacations. So I've always kind of had an interest in videography. And when YouTube came along and I knew I could put them on there to share them instead of burning a DVD that's going to get scratched up and ruined, I kind of went with the YouTube thing. And then my channel started taking off a little bit. It was a slow burn. It took off and I was like, man, this is really cool. This is fun. Everybody can watch them. I can help inspire others to get out in the trail.
Yeah.
Show them the trails I went backpacking on. And if they're asking, looking for advice on these trails. So it kind of just grew from there.
Do you have an end goal? Like what's your vision for your YouTube channels?
Mm-hmm. I was always hopeful that it'd be the backpacking kayaking channel. I feel like that's a hard niche to blow up.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing gear reviews, like some of these other.
Go hang out with River King Pete for a weekend.
Yeah. Man, we've been trying to get together for years, man.
Same. I just talked to him a few weeks ago. We actually were going to try to do one the year that I left UGQ, obviously, so that kind of fell apart. But yeah, him and I have been talking about doing one for years. So that would be, he's the guy that you want to go do that with because he's got some crazy videos and some crazy experience kayaking.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I mean, the outdoor space, there's only a handful of guys that are just really huge. That are making a good living from YouTube. So, of course, in the back of my mind, I would love to see it get there. That it could supplement my income and maybe even help me retire early or something. But the farm channel, I do have high hopes for that. It's kind of a pet project. What can I do to see how fast I can grow this thing? And if it doesn't ever grow and take off, so be it. But if it does, it will be part of my...
You do like all your own videoing and editing and
everything,
all that. Yeah. And so you're doing that for 2 channels, multiple times a week, running the farm, crushing FKTs.
And this is why I'm not training anymore. All of this stuff takes up too much time. Something's got to give.
I'm like doing one channel with the videos and shorts that I do. I'm like, this is taking too long.
Yeah. And I'm still a dad. I mean, the kids are all about out of the house, but I'm still a dad. And of course, I
don't ever stop.
I want to stay happily married.
Yeah.
So, something's got to give that's less important.
Yeah.
And right now that's training.
That's a lot to manage. I mean, do you think that because for me, like the farming content seems like a very untapped market because even the shorts that I've seen you put out, it's like a side of farming that you don't, the average person that doesn't know anything about farming, you just think like, some old guy sitting in a tractor driving through a field, and you don't necessarily think about like all of the behind the scenes. And you also make it very fun and entertaining. And, I told you back when I first met you, like I loved how you edited videos and you do like a lot of great, slow shots and just a lot of really good content. So I definitely can see that channel taking off quite well, especially because it doesn't seem like, and again, I don't know because I've not really searched out farming channels, but
there's some big ones out there. There's one called Millennial Farmer. He's over 1 million.
Don't subscribe to him.
He doesn't need subscribe to. Yeah. But there's a lot of big farming channels out there that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Yeah.
And I just think like they said, it's kind of untapped. I think there's potential. There's potential for huge growth in the farming, in the agriculture, the side of things. So,
do you find yourself like constantly having to think of like ideas of like what type of content to film, or are you just kind of more doing like showing it all, and then out of that content you're kind of pulling shorts and trying to make something out of it? Because for me, I'm constantly struggling with like what kind of content can I create that I feel like people will engage with, and it's like what's interesting to me may not be interesting to everybody else. So like how have you dealt with like kind of navigating that?
Well, originally the farm content, I started vlogging the farm content 2 years ago on the Jason Wish channel. And then I felt like, I would get, everyone wasn't watching everything. I was alienating the people that wanted to watch me for backpacking and kayaking when I did the farm stuff. The farmers watch it and vice versa. So I was like, I'm going to split it out. And that's why I started the farm channel. So right now I'm trying to do the engaging, fun editing, put my creativity into it on the Jason Wish channel for the backpacking and kayaking. Maybe a fun intro, some slow motion stuff. So maybe some good music from time to time. The farm channel, yes, it did start out that way when I had it on my personal channel, but now that it's a separate thing, I'm doing a daily vlog.
Gotcha.
Like walking around with the camera. This is what's happening today. This is how you do it. This is why we do it. Here's what's coming up in the next video, and just show the whole season, just like you're walking around with me, farming with me. And that's the way I'm going to go at it that way for this summer and see how that flies.
Yeah. I mean, it seems it seemed, I don't know if you know who like Wrangler Star is on YouTube.
I don't.
He's like a homesteader, and that's all he does is he takes people around his daily life and just does like all of his homesteading stuff and just sets the camera up and film himself chopping wood for, as he's grown, he does a lot more like review videos and like different whatever. But I started following him years ago and just literally watched him live his life, which sounds weird saying out loud. But
I understand that completely. People do that.
People do it. They like to see, because obviously, especially people that live lives that don't allow them to see as much as they want to see. Like YouTube is a great outlet to really kind of like experience the world through other people's perspectives and what their lives look like. And it causes you to, like for me, have mad respect for farmers who put in so much work and they're just so underappreciated for what they bring to our economy, to our health, like just to the world in general. They're literally one of the most vital pieces of our economy.
Yeah. People don't realize how huge the agriculture sector is.
Insane.
It's in everything. And this channel, the farm channel, I want to kind of grow it organically, just doing this daily vlog thing.
Yeah.
I've had some friends say, man, you need to make another explosion video, blow something up so you have a big viral video, go big. And I don't think that's healthy for your channel in most cases because it attracts a different audience. I want to build
then it builds an expectation too.
Yeah, I want people to be interested in seeing our farm and my editing style, my personality.
Right.
Those are the people I want to come on board. And even though my channel only has 2,000 subscribers and I'm only getting 500 to 1,000 views per video, that is a huge difference compared to my personal video, personal channel, which is 46,000 subscribers, and I might only get 1,000 or 2,000 views. So I mean, I'm getting way more. What's the word? I don't know.
A better ratio.
Yeah, way better ratio on the small farm channel. So more people are engaging.
Well, plus you're less likely to burn yourself out because you're sticking with what's true to you. Like this is my content. This is what I want to produce. And in that space, just like you said, you're attracting the people that you want to attract to that channel. And it's going to keep you in it for the long game because you're not appeasing to what everybody's telling you to do or what they want you to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, people can go do those like big, crazy, stupid videos and get, huge views. But then you build that expectation of, well, where's the next one? Now you're just doing like a talking head video. And that's not what we came here for. We came here for the big explosions and, you running around with your shirt off and jumping into a mud hole and, like whatever. And it's like, if that's not what you want your channel to be about, then I completely agree.
Yeah.
Don't go down that path because you got to stay passionate about what you're doing. And if the goal is long-term growth, then keep it what's true to you.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is hard for people to even understand anymore.
Yeah.
Like everybody's just trying to get that explosive growth. And we live in a day and age of instant gratification and get rich now stuff. And people are willing to compromise who they are for the sake of fame. And that's nonsense. So keep doing what you're doing because I like that style. I think it's going to be the place that gives you that organic, sustainable growth long term, and is going to give you a much more fulfilling life.
Yeah. And I tried to do this last year. I made it to about this point last year, and I dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I started vlogging and everything in the greenhouses last year, and then it got to the busy season where it's time to go out and transplant in the field and start harvesting and working with employees. And I would walk by my desk and see my camera land there. Nope, it's going to stay there. I'm not going to take it with me today. This year, that camera is going to be glued to my body. I got a GoPro.
I was going to say, get the whole
setup.
chest strap.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's not just a regular GoPro. I mean, I got it with the lav. I've been using the lav mic on this latest videos that haven't been released yet, but I think the audio quality is so much better when you use the lav mic.
Yep.
So I'll probably be using that more, and just having a little GoPro instead of a bigger, even though my point and shoot was small.
Yeah.
I was always dealing with focus issues. The GoPro, you don't have to worry about focus. I can just push a button and start talking. It's so instant and quick and light and small. It's just everything.
But then you can take the GoPro on the selfie stick, detach it quick and clip it onto your chest harness.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
To do like all the first person views. So like as you're just walking to the greenhouse, like people are seeing you as you're walking, and those GoPros you can really just clip and then reattach. Now you're in selfie mode. And the heck was that? Tom? Trying to film here. God.
Yeah, I lost my passion for it last year. Hopefully I can stay consistent and focused on doing it the entire summer this year.
You want me to text you every morning? Grab that camera. I won't be out that early, so I'll have to set is there a way to set an auto text? Like to go off at a certain time?
I just feel like I have so much to share that people don't have any clue about. People used to ask me every year, what do you do during the winter? And I'd always have to like rattle off 4 or 5 things that I'm keeping busy doing. And now I just tell them, oh, I go on vacation.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I'm always doing something, but
Right.
I guess I was sick of answering that question. Now I'm going to show everybody what I do
Yeah.
all winter,
There you go.
all
Yeah.
summer too.
Well, listen, man, we all have been big fans of yours for a long time, and definitely appreciate you coming on. For those of you that are interested, please check out Jason Wish on YouTube. Go follow him on Instagram. He's not on TikTok. It might change, probably not. Facebook, check him out. He's got lots of awesome content, lots of farming content, which actually is super entertaining to watch. To learn how he calls it not a big farm. I call it a big farm. Anything over 50 acres seems big to me. He's talking 1,300 acres. So go check that content out because it's super awesome. And yeah, I will give you the stuff on the screen.
That's a separate channel, by the way.
I'm not.
The farm channel is.
Yeah, but you got like a lot of shorts on your main channel that are.
Yeah, and a lot of it have been moved to
The other one's Wishwell Farms.
Yeah,
right?
Wishwell Farms.
Wishwell Farms. All right, we'll go subscribe to both of them, Wishwell Farms and Jason Wish. You uploaded both of them pretty regularly?
Yeah, more so on the Wishwell Farms. I'm doing 2 videos a week right now.
Nice.
And they're a lot shorter. They're
Are you getting a lot of growth on that?
It's finally taken off a little bit.
Nice.
It's going to take a while. It's a slow burn, but we hit 2,000 subscribers this week.
Nice.
The watch time's not quite there, but it'll get there this summer.
Well,
I think.
we just got to inspire those old farmers to get on YouTube, and you'll blow up like it's.
I hope so.
Awesome, man. Let's go get some lunch.
Sounds good. I'm hungry.